It's great to be back and seeing you here in Seattle. Of course, I've seen you a few times. I was supposed to be here last year in Seattle, and then I had an issue with my body. So I'm glad that I'm back and ready to go. And plus, it's like a recap of almost like 2019 because you're here with Lords of Acid again. So this is awesome. And we're at the front end of the Praise the Lord's 2025 tour. So how are you feeling about things in 2025 for Little Miss Nasty?
I feel fucking awesome. I have the best crew possible. The girls are amazing. Mark, our manager, is slaying it. We're on fire on this big tour, back with Lords of Acid. This is iconic for us. And coming this fall, we'll be popping up in some major markets and doing the damn thing. So there's exciting things to look forward to, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. And one thing I was thinking about is that when I've seen you, other than in 2019, you were headlining, and this time you're like in a special guest slot. So what did that do for your set list? Like, how did you have to trim it down, or how did you make those decisions?
Yeah, well, actually, that was the hardest part of this entire process, was deciding what is going in the show. Because we're used to 2 acts with the intermission, delivering our full package, every single piece we've created, sharing with the crowds. But trimming, 90 minutes down? I feel like our show is pretty long, our headlining show, to 45 minutes with 5 girls is hectic because we want to fit a lot in, and we don't want to leave out the classics. We want to showcase new pieces too. So we're out there busting our booties, quick changing to make the next number with just 5 of us, while still keeping a lot of your favorite songs.
Okay, yeah, and I thought that was going to be like one of the toughest things for you to figure out is how to trim this thing down.
Because it's hard. You don't want to give up. I have personal favorites, that are heavier and more deathcore vibes that maybe the Lords of Acid fan base or just the vibe of this tour wouldn't mesh well with. And so I had to let some of those go. And my heart is broken and crushed. Because that's when we feel our biggest release, acting like monsters, But we included more fun, femme, BDSM-y new pieces to fill the slot while keeping our favorites. And you know what? We almost took out Sippin' on a 40 because we felt like it was a little bit too rock and roll. And then I couldn't even believe that thought crossed our mind. And it wasn't in our final edit. And I was like, Mark, put it back in. And then... So, Sippin' on a 40, of course, is in the set. And a little fun thing about that is we just got our first show review from San Francisco, and the writer said, the highlight of the Little Miss Nasty show, Sippin' on a 40. And I was like, okay, we're dumb as fuck for even trying to remove that song. But it's in there, and you might get wet if you're in the front row.
That's awesome. The fact that you just mentioned that there's a period of time you're thinking about not doing that in the set is it's crazy to me.
It's Little Miss Nasty branded, like people expect it and they want it. And that's kind of a hard thing with our group in general. People want new material, but then they want the old stuff so much more. And so for us to evolve, it's like, okay, we can trim some of the fat, but we have to keep the classics. It's almost like a band that plays their number one song from 2005 for the rest of their life. You just have to keep bringing it back, but in a new way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly like a band. And obviously you're in a band as well.
Yeah.
So that it becomes this whole back and forth. And sometimes at the front of a tour you can do your set and the audience will kind of tell you like, what happened to that one piece?
Yeah.
How come we didn't do it? And you have to kind of reconsider things for the next maybe few shows even.
Yeah.
And kind of figure, well, maybe we should try it and put it back in and see what the reaction is. And then, you know what, it worked really well. Or not, I think as a group, we're not feeling this right now, so we're going to stay with what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to win.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely consider the input of the fans and what they want. And I know ultimately what they love. I've been on stage hundreds of times and I see the reactions. And so it's just funny that we even thought of not doing something on a party, but we're back.
Well, and then like you said, you got confirmation from the first show review of like,
yeah.
Yep, we made the right decision to keep it in there.
Really, thank God. Plus, I love doing that piece, and it's my own personal song, so I have a little connection to it.
Right, yeah. So it's like this is great that we kept it in, and it's all these. It covers so many bases
Yeah.
for Little Miss Nasty.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, staying with the 2025 theme, I know from having talked to you before and seeing the show before, you're constantly evolving. You're constantly coming up with new pieces. You never stagnate, ever. And that's great for people like me. So every time I see, there's something different. There's something different. And then there's something like classic stuff, but there's also other pieces. I haven't seen that one before. So are we going to kind of get maybe like a 50-50 then with this set on the tour?
Yeah, I think so. Especially for you. If you
Okay.
haven't seen it in over a year, I'd say. We have one of my new favorite pieces is called Slaughterhouse. And it's by this UK artist named Harpy. She's a goth model diva queen. But I was so inspired by her song, and we kind of have this gory, bloody, cannibalistic inspiration behind it, and we have a bloody number, and so it falls right after that one. So there's a little chunk of, blood and fun, but I love this one, and the outfits are super sexy, and I just wanted to showcase it on this tour to get a lot of photos of it, a lot of videos of it, and make people's jaws drop. So the girls look phenomenal. You'll see that tonight. And we are playing our new single, Black as Night. And Laura is on the mic for the first time ever in life, singing the front part of Black as Night. So you'll have a new vocalist tonight for that song. And it's a new piece. So
Wow, so get a new song. The other piece with the blood sounds really up my alley,
Yes.
being a horror
Yes.
fan and everything else. And
Oh, you probably haven't even seen our other piece, Abyss. You're in for a treat tonight. There's a lot of fetishy, bondage, weirdo, freaky, monstrous backstories going on in this tour.
Right up my alley.
Yeah.
Right
You're
up
gonna
my
love
alley.
it. Yeah, it's been a minute, so you're gonna be surprised.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've been, ever since this date was announced, I've been trying to get as many people as I can to come see the show. They've heard me talk about it. They've seen me wear my hoodie, all that kind of thing. And I know 2 people are coming for sure. They bought tickets. They're already going to be here. And they've never seen Little Miss Nasty ever. So,
They're gonna be like, oh, whoa.
yeah, it's a Friday. And you're going into your weekend for most people. So you're going to have fucking fun here. So come down to the
Yeah.
show. How many times do I have to tell you?
No, it's gonna be sweaty. It's gonna be packed. I already know. People better get front row because it might be hard to see.
Yeah, and with people that haven't seen the show, and we're not going to get into all like the social media shadow bans and all the other kind of bullshit that's been going on. But if they haven't seen it, so like with my 2 friends that are coming, what do you hope they take away from Little Miss Nasty when they see it?
I hope that they experience a powerful movement when they're coming in, maybe with the expectations of like, oh, some dancers and strippers, burlesque, like, whoop, whoop, what are you going to do? Flip around your boa and take off your panties? Or, most people would be like strippers, sluts, or they call us all sorts of things before they experience the actual show. But when they leave, I hope they feel powerful as fuck, because that's how we feel. And after every show, we are rejoicing in how good that felt and how we can see how we changed people's lives almost in the audience, like especially women. They see this and they're highly empowered and they're like, you are badass. But we just bring you on a journey, not even through like sexuality or fetish vibes, like it is, but it's almost a journey of like a womanhood. Look at how many different versions of ourselves we can be, and it's never tacky or vile or disturbing. It's powerful and hot and hardcore, and I don't know, that's how I feel. So I hope they feel it too.
Well, I
Just
think
change the perception, of what dance and burlesque and all that is considered to be, really.
absolutely, and I know from having seen the show and talked to other people after I've seen the show, I keep trying to tell people that, especially if you're creative or artistic, that it's not what you necessarily think. Yes, it's going to be sexy. It needs to be sexy. But there's so much more going on with it. And again, if you're a creative or artistic person, you're going to latch on to some piece of maybe many pieces of the show, just like I do. So every time I see it, I get inspired about what I can do creatively with my own things, let alone just with how my attitude toward life. So it could be anybody. I remember the last time I was here, there was a group of aerialists that came. There's like a cheerleading squad that came that want to check it out because they understand dance. And so, yeah, if you get something out of it, hopefully it's something positive. It's something that just makes you think, oh shit, this is not what I thought it was. It's so much bigger and better than I thought it was.
That's exactly the feedback that we have been getting from especially the Lords of Acid fans who've never heard of us, never seen us, and they arrive early and catch our set. The messages I'm getting and the feedback after the show when I'm mingling with the fans, they're like, oh my god, I never heard of you guys, and that blew my mind. That was like the best thing I've ever fucking seen. I'm like, oh, you're just being too sweet. But, you know, people don't know until you know. So you have to come experience it.
Yeah, it's definitely something you can't, look at a YouTube sizzle reel and get the idea. I mean, that's just to kind of maybe entice you to come see the full thing. You definitely have to experience it live for sure.
Yes, because we're an energetic force coming at you, and it's almost like a heat wave in a way, because as soon as we hit the stage, it's 100. Like, we don't stop. We give it all we've got, and I feel like that impresses people a lot because they don't understand like how hard and full out and how much performers we actually are, So it's like, here we are. It's a speaker blowing your face off, but that's Little Miss Nasty, who's actually in your face.
Yeah, and like you said too, I mean, the five of you are getting off stage, making your changes to your outfits, and then you're right back on whatever configuration is for the next number that you're doing. It's just relentless. It's bang, 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 bang. But within that, there are dips and valleys in the show too, which is really cool to see. To really kind of take the audience on a different type of ride.
Yes.
And so obviously we're here in this tour, and it's going through maybe the end of June or so. You talked about you have some things coming up beyond that, where you're going to be hitting some big cities, and I'm guessing it's probably things you can't quite talk about quite yet.
We haven't announced anything yet, but apart from touring, we do love to reside in major markets and pop off in that kind of way as well. And so our target goals are Miami, New York City, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. And if we can make a killer night, and we're kind of testing the concept on this tour with having a DJ open the night and bring in this hardcore EDM vibe, party feel to the atmosphere before we hit the stage. And then Little Miss Nasty comes on and slams. And so we want to create nights like this and take it to the big cities.
Sounds exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking to you about how I needed to get my butt down to California at some point to actually see the show at a residency, because it's very different than, it's somewhat different than the touring version.
Oh yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, go to Vegas.
Okay.
I would go to Vegas. It's bigger and badder. Our Los Angeles residency that we've had for a long, long time is a completely different show than our other residency shows.
Okay.
Each one is special in its own way. Honestly, you could make the rounds and be impressed in different ways, but yeah, until we announce our new spot.
Okay, and then to kind of wrap this up, you've been dancing Little Miss Nasty things before Little Miss Nasty for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And for any dancer, I mean, they're athletes, and I know it from having talked to and interviewed, from ballet to jazz, tap, everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep your body in shape to the point where you can still do it and execute the things that you want to do to the level you want to do it?
Yeah, that's funny because it's getting to a point where I'm like, damn, am I the Tom Brady of burlesque? But it's like, but hardcore burlesque. I'm the psycho who wakes up every single day immediately. This is on tour and my everyday life. But on tour, the first thing I do is look for my gym in the city. If I don't find that, I'll look for the closest gym with a sauna. I have a whole ritual. I'm very tied down to it too. I went to the gym today. So I go to the gym, I warm up my body, I get everything moving, I have a nice stretch, I lift a little bit of weights, I go in the sauna for 30 minutes with freezing cold rinses in between. I drink lemon water, I eat healthy as fuck. It's like, I really put the care into keeping my physical machine moving, and I feel like the more I do that, the easier it is to keep going, so I just never stop. a lot of, some people might want to chill all day before their show and then kill the show, but then they feel tight and sore and beat up, and they're like, oh, I'm going to rest again before the show. But for me, it works to just keep going. So I've been working out and saunaing for forever, every single day almost.
Okay, well, that means that you're taking your craft so seriously and really treating your body like a temple.
Yeah.
Because if you do, it's allowing you to keep your career going the way you want it to be going.
Yeah, because I still love performing, and the level of our show and the intensity that we do have to put out there, that's what people are blown away with as well. They're like, oh my God, how do you guys have all that energy? Like, are you gymnasts? And I'm like, well, yeah, basically we're gymnasts, aerialists, technical trained dancers, freaky girls that want to be hot. It's all of it put together. And sometimes I impress myself. I'm like, oh my God, look at me out there flying around on the rig and doing all sorts of tricks that I can still do. And I'm like, okay. I give myself a little pat on the back, but it's funny sometimes because I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
like I'm doing that.
absolutely. And I mean, I saw a couple clips from, I think, San Francisco on this tour, and it just kind of reminded me of like how athletic all five of you have to be able to do something to that level. And it makes my neck hurt, it makes my back hurt when I watch
my neck
it.
is hurt. I recently had a CAT scan for something in my throat, but they discovered, obviously, arthritis all over my neck and injured little discs and things. But I'm like, oh, no wonder why my neck kills all day long every day. But, you're just used to it as a dancer or athlete. You have your injuries and pains, and you live with it, you deal with it, and it's just part of life. So you don't really think about it like, ow, it hurts. It's just always hurts,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes with the territory, kind of a thing.
Territory.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you look good.
Well, Gina, thank you so much for taking the time. I've been kind of interested watching from the first time I saw Little Miss Nasty to now, and how it just keeps evolving and improving and just everything about it. And I always love talking with you and seeing the ladies perform. So I can't wait to see you perform in another couple hours here.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah, so again, thank you very much for the time.
I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.